The Vikings are out here at annual NFL owners meetings. I'm joined by Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. And Kevin, it's hard to believe 10 days since we last heard from you during the free agency period. It feels like it's been 3 years. I don't know how that feels for you, but you guys have made some interesting moves since then. So I really wanted to get your take on Quez's move to get an extra draft pick for you guys in the first round. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was really excited about it because as you continue to do more work on this year's draft, not just at the quarterback position, defensively, different aspects of O-line, D-line, it's a really deep draft. And we really think it's deep, really between our 11th pick and that 23rd pick that we were able to acquire, where you're really talking about adding potential two difference makers to your team. Now, clearly we continue to do a lot of work on the quarterback position throughout this year's draft, and what that means as far as picking at 11 or 23 or possibly using those picks to move up in the draft, that's the flexibility we really wanted when considering what we were able to do in that trade. And it's rare to do a trade like that early in the process. We felt like that was a kind of a draft day kind of trade that we were able to make early and maybe not pay the extreme price tag that you do when people tend to know what you may be going up for.
Well, you mentioned the buzzword quarterback, and being a former NFL quarterback, how much responsibility do you take on knowing this is going to be a big decision for you guys this offseason?
Yeah, I think it's my love of the position, my love of teaching and coaching and training the position is well documented. There's very few things in this coaching profession I've enjoyed more than really diving in and coaching the quarterback position. It's one of the things now as the head coach and play caller, I still take a lot of pride in trying to spend some time with those guys. I have some great quarterback coaches, really excited for Josh McCown and Grant Udinsky pairing up in that quarterback room, but it's going to be an all-in process for me. Obviously you go through the tape, you go through their careers, both this past season and maybe some previous years when they were still developing, and then you meet with them, you watch them throw in person at the combine. Maybe the guys that you need to see more of will individually work out as well, sending our coaches out to pro days. This has been the first time really that this has been a full process for us. And I think it's something that we're all learning a lot about, our organization, what we're looking for, and ultimately really excited about what the possibilities may be come the end of April.
It's a lot of information to weed through, is what I'm hearing. And you kind of nailed it at the end where I wanted to know, what are you guys looking for? What is the type of quarterback you think can be successful in your scheme?
Well, I think there's so many layers to it, Tatum, because we know the traits that kind of are those non-negotiables for us. I think a quarterback in the NFL will always need to be accurate first and foremost. I think in most NFL offenses you have to have a certain level of smarts. In football, intelligence, how to run the show and make the other 10 guys on the field be at their best because of the way you do your job. I think there's a level of toughness that goes into playing the quarterback position, mentally and physical tough guys that can really overcome some real adversity, both during a drive, during a play, during a season. You hit a rough patch, you need this person to have some real makeup to them from a standpoint of toughness. And then I think it'd be, it's in 2024 you talk about the ability to maybe have some athletic traits to impact the game, maybe the leadership traits in the locker room. It's a unique place. It's somewhere that we feel very strongly about our locker room in Minnesota. We want to make sure whatever quarterback we're adding to this team has some real traits to only take that and make it better, which is saying something with where we're at right now there. So there's a lot that goes into it. That's why so much time and energy gets put into evaluating the quarterback position, and I do love it though.
All right, between us two, how much say do you have in this?
You know what? We'll circle. It's been 2.5 years now of using the word collaboration.
A little bit.
Let's fire that one out there again. But I do feel very strongly about our process and my role in that process, and ultimately where we'll get to. But it is an organizational decision. It has to be when you're talking about the most dynamic, most important position in all professional sports.
And it helps out when you have a really good defense. And Brian Flores here for his second season. Harrison Smith coming back. We haven't talked about that yet, right? And and I just got off talking to Quez where he was talking about it was intentional to go after key free agents on the defensive side of things. What can Vikings fans expect from that unit this season?
Yeah, I think every player we went out and identified it was really about the fit with Coach Flo and his staff and our defense, whether it's, Grenard or Van Ginkel, Cashman, you talk about Shaq Griffin, you talk about some of the players that we were able to retain, starting with Harrison Smith and what he means to our team. I would just say ultimately, the package of players that all came together was designed to really be a major feature of what we wanted to do. Younger, faster, use whatever terms you want. They're Brian Flores' kind of guys, and they're going to have a major role within our defense.
All right, well, we are here at the owners' meetings. Any rules or bylaws that you kind of have your eye on?
Well, I think this kickoff, conversation continues as we speak. We'll probably circle back on it a little bit more tomorrow, but it's unique. It's very much a major change in our game, but we're trying to get a play back involved in the game that, quite frankly, is almost becoming a non-play anymore with the amount of touchbacks that we've had. I think the intent and why the rules have gone to where they've gone to over the past 10 years or so about player health and safety have really been felt. The numbers are down, the injury numbers are down, the head injuries are down, but I think that the special teams coaches came up with a really cool thought process to get the play back involved in our game. We're just working through some of, maybe those unforeseen circumstances that aren't on a sheet of paper. Coaches are going to have to be dealing with in real time as the season goes on. I think it's a really good starting point, and we're going to keep working through it as the week goes on.
It is called owners meetings, but all the head coaches are here. I know it's kind of fun catching up with everyone. You really aren't ever all in the same place.
Yeah.
So you're kind of a seasoned pro around here
It's
now.
Unbelievable. I was actually just talking to a couple coaches about that this morning. Like, you look around the room and you've got your Andy Reeds, you've got your Harbaughs, your Tomlins, even my guy McVay, it seems like, is now in the top tenure as far as time goes. And but there's a lot, it's crazy to think that just now into my third year that where that stacks up. It just goes to show you how hard this profession is, and we don't take it for granted one day being able to come down and be around guys like that.
What do you like about owners meetings? What are your goals going in?
I think the biggest thing for me is always, a chance to continue to grow from a standpoint of being around other coaches and being around general managers, even being around ownership from around the league that maybe you haven't built the kind of relationship that you have with either our owners or other teams that I've worked for. It's a great opportunity just to be walking the halls, have a cup of coffee with somebody, break bread and talk, about life. And I bring my family down here. Leah's here with the kids. So there is really cool aspects of this. And in addition, we're talking about a lot of really important things that are going to impact our game well into the future. So very important.